Welcome to the CISO Daily Update.
Microsoft security lapse exposed sensitive credentials and internal resources of employees. A large data leak at Microsoft exposed sensitive employee credentials and internal company information to the internet. Cybersecurity researchers discovered the breach, which originated from an internal Azure server that contained passwords, keys, and credentials used by Microsoft personnel. These credentials were used to access internal databases and systems related to the Bing search engine. The breach has since been addressed, though companies like Microsoft continue to face increased scrutiny and demand for strong security and data protection. Another bank hit. Wells Fargo confirms data breach. Wells Fargo announced a data breach that exposed its consumers' identities and mortgage account numbers. The bank alerted affected individuals and is providing free identity theft detection services for 2 years via Experian Identity Works. The timeframe and specifics of the breach remain unknown, though Wells Fargo formed a dedicated support team to assist affected individuals. The bank reiterated its commitment to protecting client information and its intent to enhance proactive measures. Universities in New Mexico, Oklahoma respond to ransomware attacks. Universities in New Mexico and Oklahoma are grappling with ransomware attacks that disrupted operations and compromised student data. New Mexico Highlands University faced class cancellations and system outages after a ransomware attack that impacted payroll and emergency services. The FBI and state agencies are involved in the response, while NMHU works to restore internet connectivity and assess the attack's impact. In Oklahoma, East Central University faced a ransomware attack by the Black Suit Gang, compromising student information including social security numbers. Although the attacks were contained, concerns about data exposure remain. Sisense data breach triggers CISA alert and urgent calls for credential resets. The U.S. government's cybersecurity agency issued a red alert concerning a suspected supply chain breach at Sisense, a big data analytics company. While Sisense has not commented publicly, CISA advised immediate credential and secret resets for Sisense customers. The breach's scope remains unclear, but CISA is actively investigating and urging organizations to report any suspicious activity. Sisense serves major sectors like healthcare and technology, with thousands of customers, including NASDAQ and Verizon. LastPass, hackers targeted employee in failed Deepfake CEO call. LastPass revealed a failed deepfake voice phishing attempt impersonating the CEO and targeting an employee via WhatsApp. The voice phishing attempt used urgency and included a series of texts, phone calls, and a voicemail. The employee did not fall for the targeted attempt and promptly reported the issue to LastPass. This incident highlights the rise of AI-generated deepfakes in executive fraud and the importance of verifying identities and training personnel to detect social engineering tactics. Apple. Mercenary spyware attacks target iPhone users in 92 countries. Apple alerted iPhone users in 92 countries about a targeted mercenary spyware attack aimed at compromising their devices remotely. The warning emphasizes the seriousness of the threat and urges users to take immediate action. Apple recommends enabling lockdown mode, updating device software, and seeking assistance where appropriate. The notification highlights the NSO Group's Pegasus kit as an example of sophisticated attacks primarily targeting journalists, activists, politicians, and diplomats. Despite the ongoing and global nature of these attacks, Apple reassures users of its efforts to detect and mitigate them. Intel and Lenovo servers impacted by 6-year-old BMC flaw. Researchers at Binarly discovered a 6-year-old vulnerability in the LightTPD web server used in baseboard management controllers from major vendors like Intel and Lenovo. The remotely exploitable flaw could allow attackers to bypass security protections and was quietly patched by LightTPD in 2018 without a CVE assignment, leading system vendors to miss the fix. Binarly identified affected Intel, Lenovo, and Supermicro server models, estimating thousands of vulnerable devices in the field. However, the vendors claim the impacted models have reached end-of-life status, meaning they will likely remain unpatched and exposed to this long-standing security issue. Palo Alto Networks fixed multiple DOS bugs in its firewalls. Palo Alto Networks released security updates to address several high-severity vulnerabilities in its Pan-OS operating system, including 3 distinct denial-of-service flaws. The most severe issues could allow a remote attacker to reboot Palo Alto firewall devices, eventually triggering a DOS condition that requires manual intervention to restore online functionality. The affected firewalls include the PA5400 and PA7000 series models, with the DOS vulnerabilities tied to specific Pan-OS configurations like disabled GTP security or enabled NTLM authentication. Palo Alto Networks is unaware of any active exploitation of these vulnerabilities, but has emphasized the need for customers to apply the available security updates to protect their mission-critical firewall deployments from potential disruption. Critical Node.js flaw lets attackers execute malicious code on Windows machines. A critical vulnerability in Node.js on Windows platforms, CVE 2024-27980, enables attackers to execute arbitrary commands and bypass security measures. Discovered in child process spawn functions, the flaw permits command injection via crafted command line arguments and impacts versions 18.x, 20.x, and 21.x. Node.js users, especially those running applications on Windows, are urged to immediately upgrade to the patched versions, review their security practices around child process handling, and stay informed on future Node.js security developments to protect their systems and applications from potential exploitation. U.S. data breach reports surged 90% annually in Q1. In the first quarter of 2024, the Identity Theft Resource Center reported a significant surge of 90% in publicly disclosed data compromises compared to the same period last year, totaling 841 disclosed incidents. Despite the increase in breaches, the total number of victims decreased by 72% annually to 72.5 million and by 81% from the previous quarter. Cyber attacks remained the primary cause, contributing to 642 breaches affecting 28.3 million victims, while system and human error led to 85 incidents impacting approximately 181,000 victims. Supply chain attacks posed a growing threat with a threefold increase in impacted companies compared to Q1 2023. Financial services bore the brunt of breaches, followed by healthcare and professional services sectors. The ITRC expressed concern over the results and emphasized the importance of continued vigilance and adoption of secure practices like passkeys for enhanced authentication. Financial sectors lost $20 billion over the past 20 years. Cyber attacks on the financial sector doubled since the pre-pandemic era, as revealed by the IMF's Global Financial Stability Report. Direct losses reached unprecedented levels, as exemplified by Equifax's $1 billion penalty post-breach. Cyber threats extend beyond financial implications and can jeopardize public trust and trigger systemic disruptions with broad industry impact. The recent string of supply chain attacks targeting major banks reinforces the urgency for enhanced cybersecurity measures. 96% of U.S. hospital websites share visitor info with Meta, Google, data brokers. Major hospitals in the United States often share visitor information from their websites with third-party firms such as Meta, Google, and data brokers, despite the expectation of privacy in the healthcare sector. A recent study discovered that 96% of hospital websites sent user data to these third parties, with many missing clear privacy policies that disclose their data sharing practices. While hospitals may be doing this due to the widespread use of tracking technology on the internet, these actions pose significant risks to patient privacy. Experts advocate using privacy-focused browser extensions to protect data, and hospitals should work with their technology departments to develop alternative techniques that lessen reliance on widespread tracking.
Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter at CISOheadlines.com. Until next time, stay curious.